Morning everybody, welcome back to Dumfries Ice Bowl for draw 4 of the Cooperative Funeral Care Scottish Ladies Championships. This morning we are focusing on the Kerry Bar and Jennifer Martin game, which is a top of the table clash. We'll just put the table on there as it stands just now. Very unofficial, the RCCC haven't verified that in any way before we get into any trouble with that. We've got a different commentator joining us this morning. Scott Hamilton has agreed to come and say a few words for us. How's things this morning, Scott?
Yeah, good, thanks, David. Yep.
Looking forward to this?
Very much so. Very much so.
First go at commentating though, is that?
I'm sure I'll get to grips with it fairly quickly, David.
Sure, you'll be natural. You'll be better than we were yesterday, I'm sure. So you'll be absolutely fine. So apologies, we're a little late in starting this morning. It's just a Sunday morning. We needed to get our food into us and get everything sorted, but we're up and running now. What looked to be a fairly decent first end. Plenty of stones in play.
Yeah, I think Jennifer managed to steal one up there.
Yeah, so a good start for them.
Good centre guard from our lead.
Just exactly what they wanted. Who would your money be on for this one, Scott, having not seen any of the games so far this weekend?
Well, I don't know much about the Jennifer Martin team, to be honest. I know Kerry Bar and her team fairly well. They're both at the top of the table, so they're both obviously in form. I think I would be putting my money on Kerry, but let's wait and see.
There you go. 2 minutes in, you're off the fence quicker than anybody was yesterday when asked about a result. They all sat on the fence and didn't say a word, me included.
No, I certainly won't be sitting on the fence.
Excellent, that's what I like to hear. So we've got a few viewers on already this morning. In fact, we've got more viewers than we have people that are commentating here this morning. We've sadly lacking in one or two noticeable people lacking this morning. But we'll struggle through the best we can. Apologies to anybody who had some echoes yesterday as well. Hopefully we've got that sorted. A bit of a schoolboy error of running the actual stream in the background, so you're hearing things 3, 4, 5 at times, so not the best.
Looks to be swinging a wee bit more this morning, David, than it has been certainly yesterday and the day before.
Yeah, I was speaking to the ice tech, Graham Black. He was in at 5 o'clock this morning trying to tweak it a little bit just to get a wee bit more swing than there has been yesterday and Friday night. I think his comment was, if it doesn't swing now, it's not going to swing all weekend. So he's done a lot of hard work over the weekend, Graham, so he's certainly reacting to the players' comments. So maybe a little bit straighter than we've had it for the past few weeks here at Dumfries. But there has been a swing. It's not been poker straight or anything like that.
There's a nice shot coming down here.
Shaves past the guard. See, Scott, we've gone posh now. We've got replay facilities.
I think you were trying to trick me there, David.
There's a look of confusion there.
Rhian McLeod just playing a quiet tap back weight, hack weight. Just trying to get to the nose of the stone, I think. Just squeezed past the guard.
He's got the inside nose, which is quite impressive from there. Good work by the sweepers there. So both of these teams are actually undefeated at the moment. The only difference being that Kerry Barsall actually played the 2 games. They missed the Friday night session, whereas Jennifer Martin's team's played all 3 games and won all 3 so far.
She's obviously a bit keener than what Rianne was expecting in the second end here this morning. I'm sure she'll be disappointed with that one. The team there were at the end set up well for a 2.
I think we'll start seeing stones disappearing at a rapid rate of knots.
I would think so, yeah. This one's needing to swing a wee bit, I think, David. Yeah, she's okay.
Yeah, catches
Again,
enough.
I think we'll see Kerry trying to come around the high side of this other guard now. Rachel Sims playing vice skip for Kerry Barr's team, former Scottish Junior champion.
Some good CVs on the ice this weekend.
Oh, absolutely. Bar team just struggling with their weight a wee bit up until now, but I'm sure they'll resolve that fairly quickly. What's your speed been like, David? Has it been quite keen all weekend?
We believe so. We haven't actually had a chance to get a proper stopwatch on it. John Graham had a different stopwatch, shall we say, mechanical. So he reckoned it was just over 3 seconds.
Right, yeah.
Which is about normal. 3 is about normal for him.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it certainly doesn't look too slow, and it certainly looks like the sweepers have quite a good effect on it as well.
I think Rachel here is just discussing with her sweepers what weight they think the ice is down this other side of the sheet. Pretty important that they get this shot in. Jennifer Martin's set the end up well now with a couple of centre guards there, so big shot. Swinging too far, David. Maybe lacking in weight a wee bit as well.
Pulled up a wee touch short. Which one do you tap?
I think this one that they're looking at is possibly the safer option. Even if they catch it maybe just slightly higher nose, they might split 2 blues in.
Would you be going fully for the straight tap to try and steal here, or would you be looking to, as a second option, to split the blues?
No, I think the straight tap will be is the right call, certainly. But possibly err on the high side, and you can split the 2 blues in to, if nothing else, try and force Kerry into her one. I think our weight certainly looked good there, but line not so good.
Maybe not showing as much as we was to start off with. So
Yeah, I think that side of the sheet certainly looks a bit straighter than the other side. I think they'd made the decision here, Dave, to try and come down round here at Hackway, but I think they've possibly changed that now and trying to hit these in the centre line and hope that they catch a piece of this red.
they don't look too badly lined up.
No, I think they'll certainly make contact, but whether they'll manage to keep one of the blues in the house or not, that's a shame.
Yeah, we're assuming that top blue is out anyway. It certainly looks out from the angle we've got.
Yeah, I think so.
Although when you look out the window, it doesn't look massively out the house. But the way they've been calling the end, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, I'm sure if there's any doubt, they'll put the measure on it.
Just a reminder to those that haven't been with us all weekend, time clocks are running on these games. We've got a squad of volunteers upstairs keeping name land. What's your views on time clocks, Scott?
Sorry, David?
What's your views on time clocks?
I think it keeps the game moving, certainly. I think on good fast swinging ice, and nowadays a lot of the top teams go aggressive from the word go, then sometimes you do struggle to get the full 10 ends in, but I think as long as you keep the game moving, then I think they're a good idea.
Would you like to see it move to thinking time? maybe as opposed to
There's
playing
been
time.
a lot
then.
of thought about that, hasn't there, and a lot said. But no, I think I quite like the way that it's set up at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly keeps the games moving, and it means we're not here for sort of 3.5 hours
Yeah.
per game anyway. So
Yeah. Well, I think they've decided on trying to play an angled tap up here onto the button. Great shot if she makes it. They obviously aren't happy with the angles on the two blues on the centre line.
we had a few comments yesterday from various people that some of the teams were a wee bit negative and constantly going on the safe side. You certainly couldn't say this for this shot. This is certainly going for the end.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Sweeping it for line at the moment. I think they're plenty of weight. Oh no, it's kicked back. This looks a good shot if it's going to stop. Lovely shot, lovely shot.
I was going to ask the question, can they see enough of that top red? But the way they're looking at it,
Yeah.
it must be close.
Don't know what sort of weight she'll be playing at this, David. Whether she just tries to play the tap up onto the button or tries to play a hack weight, barrier weight, and take the blue out for two.
How would you be playing it?
I think I would try for the two, certainly. Yeah. And looking at the ice they're taking, unless it's very, very straight down there, I think that's what they're going for. There obviously isn't enough swing in the ice to come down through the port on the right hand side and tap the blue back for two. The sweepers are on it and off it, so it must be quite close.
Looks pretty good. Looks a look
Oh,
peach.
this is a great shot. Well played, Kerry Barr.
Oh, what a shot.
Lovely shot. Lovely shot.
Well worth seeing that one again. Sweepers held that really well. Well judged as well.
Yeah, lovely shot.
Great shot.
Quick update on the other games this morning. Gina Aitken seems to be one up on Marshall after two ends, and Gail Monroe, Hannah Fleming have blanked the first two ends, so that score is still 0-0.
Yeah, you're in charge of that job, Scott. I get stuck in the corner, can I see a thing out the window? So I can see some nice green seats across on the far side, but that's about it. nice couple of guards in play this end again.
Yeah, as we'll see, Barbara McPake try to draw around here right onto the top of the forefoot. I think we'll certainly see another end with a lot of stones in play here, David.
It's looking a bit messy, this one already, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they're both teams playing aggressively.
Which is good, certainly good to see. As I say, some of the games yesterday were maybe just a wee bit cagey. A couple of blank ends to then take the wands, which for the neutral isn't the most exciting. It's normally reasonable to play in, but
yeah, absolutely.
So it's not too bad a line at all.
A nice swing in here, certainly. The sweeper's working it hard, bringing it as far as they can. It's in a good position for Kerry and our team to use later on in the end.
It's just that kind of battle for the control of the front of the house at the moment.
Yeah.
Tempted to move some guards like that, Scott, or?
I think yeah, it's difficult, isn't it, to know what to do. I think she's possibly the tap on her own one. Although I think at the moment they're possibly looking at trying to remove the red that the Bar team has just played.
Get a wee roll to the wing while they're at it.
Yeah. I think with the ice have given, this will just be coming up at a back ring to hack weight again. We see most teams nowadays playing these quieter weights.
It's more control.
Yeah, again, this looks like a good line, good shot, well played. Kerry has to be careful now. She hasn't got last stone in this end, and there's two blues in scoring positions at the moment. Rianne McLeod attempting a double takeout. Again, the sweepers are sweeping it hard. I think we're just going to get those.
That's the tea boy arrived with refreshments this morning, Scott. We look after you here.
Yeah, no, I'll come back if I'm allowed.
You're not allowed to leave till the end of the day, so. We'll need to sack the tea boys. Forgot the stirrers.
It's a good one in here from Jennifer Martin and her team, and they're certainly looking good to score a 2, if not more, this end.
Yeah, I suppose it just shows that centre guards can work for you, even when you have last stone.
Had a lovely line in it, that stone, but just pulling up short again. Sweeper's not working hard enough, I think, David.
That's it. That's typical Skip, always blame the sweepers. You did that last weekend as well, did you not?
Absolutely.
To be fair, you were still probably annoyed at the sweepers for putting their guards in the house, so yeah, that's reasonable.
Again, and just a quick update on the other sheets. Certainly the Gail Monroe Hannah Fleming game, having Hannah won the hammer in the draw shot, blanked the first 2 ends and managed to score a 3 in the third end. So Hannah Fleming now very much in control of that game.
One thing we did forget to ask you, Scott, was who's your tip to win the Scottish? Having said before that you're not going to sit on the fence.
I think the smart one certainly would be on Hannah Fleming and her team. I think Lorna Beavers and her team certainly won't be far away either, or Kerry Barr. I think it'll be one of them 3 teams that will certainly represent Scotland at the World Championships.
Which is quite good. I mean, you've narrowed that down to pretty much half the field there, so.
Thanks for that, David.
Sitting on the fence nicely.
Yeah, just a wee bit, yeah. It's probably worth pointing out, David, that one of the key members of the Fleming rink has been out at the Europeans with Team Muirhead. The 5th player for the Olympics is yet to be announced for the ladies, so that possibly will have a bearing on who's likely to win the Scottish Championship as well.
Yeah, it's a fair point, because whoever's 5th, I'm right in saying, doesn't play the Scottish at all.
Yeah, that's right. So a strong drink nonetheless that Fleming's got out in the ice this morning. But I think with Lauren Gray, who's absent, she's certainly a big asset to that team. attempt at a hit and roll for Jennifer here. Sweepers are working hard. Are they going to hold it? Yeah, no, good shot. Good shot. Again, that puts the pressure straight back onto Kerry Barr. A good shot needed here, or Jennifer is looking like taking her two.
Yeah, you'd be happy with that result there, Scott. Yeah, it's not a bad result at all, is it?
No, a good shot. Good shot. Apologies for the noise in the background.
Graham Sloan's joined us.
Stood on Graham Sloan's toe.
You need to give me a comeback to that. No, it's good to be able to come in and see some of these games this morning. Fortunately, it's a busy time of the season with teams playing up country here, there, and everywhere. So we managed to just dip in and out to see what's going on here. But you boys seem to be carrying the flag not too bad. So how are you finding it behind the mic this morning, Scott?
Oh, enjoying it so far, Graham.
Not been too harsh, are you?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Honest but fair.
Honest but fair, that's right. That's right. I'm sure as the day goes on, I may well be. Yeah.
It's just tea that's in that cup.
No, I know that. I know that. Obviously, we're concentrating very much on the women this weekend, but you asked me who I thought would win the Scottish Women's Championship, so I'll throw it back to you. And who you think will win the Scottish Men's Championship this year?
Who's playing in it?
It'll certainly not. It certainly won't be yourself, anyway, Graham.
No, shoes are in retirement. There's too many good teams out there now to try and compete at a high level. You need to be playing a lot. So if you're not playing regularly, you're not really going to be putting up a good fight for these teams.
Yeah, I think certainly one of the favourites will be Dave Edwards and his team. Good performance last weekend at Lockerbie.
They've actually been picking up a little bit of momentum. They've obviously they won Edinburgh International as well there, and they've been plugging away for a couple of seasons now, working really hard, and always been there or thereabouts. So this could well be the moment that they've been waiting for.
Yeah.
But you've also got local team Grant Hardy, skipped by Grant, and then obviously Kyle Smith's going to be in and around the mix as well. So it should make for a very highly competitive championship again.
Yeah, I think
imagine.
there's them three teams. Fraser Hare and his team certainly seem to be having a good season. And you can't obviously rule out the Warwick Smith and his team or Ewan McDonald either. I think there's some pretty good teams entered this year. And of course the one that we haven't mentioned is Logan Gray.
Yeah, absolutely. He's
Apologies, Logan.
It's not like you to miss him, it's Scotty. But like you say, you've reeled off 5 or 6 teams there that any of them could do well at the World Championships.
Again, another obvious one that hasn't been mentioned is Graham Black and his rink.
Will they manage to put a team out?
Yeah. No, I think he's got a very similar team to what he had last year. So
Again, if you're in the event, you really have got a chance. All these teams can throw nice shots, and it's whoever gets the rubs and the breaks at that moment in time. Whoever can get a little bit of consistency in their game, and just take the opportunity that's there for them this season, I suppose.
yeah, absolutely.
You maybe would have thought you might have got a few more teams entering Scottish Championships this year.
I certainly think in the women's side, the men seems to be fairly well entered anyway. But yeah, I would agree with that, Graham. Certainly the women's side, there's a huge opportunity for somebody with even her team not being able to compete in the Scottish Championship. and just getting back to this game, I think that was a score of 2 for Jennifer.
They seem to be playing quite well this weekend.
Yeah, no, some good curling being played by her and our team.
It's obviously it's not too heavy a schedule, but it is a long weekend. They played their first game Friday night. Being able to keep that focus all the way through these early games are important. Obviously, this is just the first leg of the championship, but these early games are important for getting into position and just building a bit of confidence and momentum.
Yeah, I think Jennifer's on 3 wins and no losses at the moment. Another couple of wins would probably just about see her into the playoffs in Perth in February. So, no, as you say, very important at this early stage to get as many wins on the board as possible. Here's a nice shot coming in here by, unless I'm mistaken, Mary Baird.
Looking like you're trying to get someone to bail you out on that one, Scott. No idea, I'm afraid.
No, I think that's who it is. Lovely shot in there from Barbara, putting the pressure straight back onto Jennifer Martin and her team.
Yeah, they managed just to get a little inside edge on that blue stone, so they've possibly got a chance of moving the blue stone out past the back red at some stage. Good weight control on the shot in there, well judged by the sweepers. Teams these days, they really do try and rely on the sweepers, don't they, to just try and get the stone position. They're not actually trying to throw the cold shot, if you like. They're really throwing it down and giving it to the sweepers to position.
Yeah, no, I think that's right, Graham.
Do you think that's just due to better ice conditions or better brush equipment?
Yeah, I think better ice conditions, better brush equipment as well. No, absolutely. I mean, sweepers nowadays can take the stones a long way. So, and I think that the fitness is a big part of the game nowadays. And I know in the early days when certainly you and I started to play,
You're a wee bit younger than me still, Scott.
Just a year or two, Graham.
I remember David Edwards making a sweep with a 10-inch angled brownies. That was good for fitness.
I remember that as well, watching you. No, but I do think that I know certainly when I'm playing any guards or draws, and I do try.
You shout sweep.
Yeah, absolutely. I do try and play it to the sweepers and let them do a wee bit of work.
Helps keep them warm though, keeps them involved in the game.
That was something that my coach taught me, and which I think was yourself, Graham.
I don't know if you can class me as a coach, can you, Scott?
Well, probably not.
So the Martin team just trying to throw a few obstacles up here, make it difficult for the Bar team to get in there to move the blue stone that's lying in the forefoot. They need to move that around a little bit. So we've got a few more key shots in this end just to get themselves into position for scoring their two that they'll be looking for with the hammer.
We're having a look at the delivery of Rhiann McLeod.
Just looking for a little bump on this redstone, Scott, are they?
I think they're just trying to appeal. Oh no, yeah.
This could work out okay though.
Just tickled the guard.
I think they've probably got away with that.
Yeah, a bit lucky.
Saying that, if they come past the guard, they're probably in good position as well.
Yeah. That's certainly got Jennifer Martin thinking.
Yeah, it's a lonely blue in there now.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I mean, I think they've almost got to try and come down there at T-weight, just back T and try and take the angles off that red stone.
Yeah, and if they catch
another good one in there.
If they catch the red that's frozen in the blue on the left-hand side, they should get a little reverse kick, which should straighten that blue stone back up onto the red at the back, which would then make it safe.
Yeah, slightly. Yeah. I'm not so sure whether she'll be trying to play maybe just quite as heavy as that, Graham. I think they'll just be looking for a sort of T-weight just to move these about slightly. In fact, looking at where she's gripping the brush here, yeah, I don't know if that was a call, but
no, I think that was maybe change of plan. The sweeper's obviously called down early there.
Yeah. Sounds like David's wanting to get the mic back off of Graham here.
Probably should be mentioned as well, all the footage here and the setup, it has been organised by David Owen. He puts a lot of work in behind the scenes just to try and play around with the technology, and we've got quite a good setup now, and hopefully you're enjoying the footage as you're watching it from home.
Yeah, very much so, and I'm assuming that there'll be a similar sort of coverage when the men's qualifiers are here in January. Is that the plan, David, to have?
There will be, Scott. Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, good.
So anybody who wants to come and have a go at pushing buttons or have a go at commentating, you're absolutely more than welcome. So, Scott, if you were in Jennifer Martin's shoes, would you be entirely comfortable with this end as it stands?
No, I don't think so, David. Not now. I think that was a pretty poor shot. I don't know what the call was there, actually. a good shot here by Rachel Sims, and we could see a number of reds lying about and both blues disappear.
Yeah, I think you could be absolutely right with that, Scott. Just right hand side of the blue as we look at it.
Yeah, I think they're. It looks a wee bit high at the moment, I think.
It is moving.
And the back blue has jammed straight onto the red.
This might look a whole lot better for blues in a second.
Yeah, I think a nice back ring weight for Jennifer here, and get the inside of this red and flop over. Just shows how quickly the end can turn in one or two shots.
Yeah, we actually had that in the very first game we covered was Jennifer Martin against Gail Monroe. And Gail was just starting to turn the screw a wee bit, and we were just commenting how many stones were lying about, and then 3 shots later it was 4 stones the opposite direction, which it's always a bit disappointing when you're playing and that happens.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
Thought they were calling the skinny double for a second there, Scott.
Yeah, it certainly swung. I don't know whether she was a bit inside the brush with her delivery, or whether the ice just caught them out a bit there. But it certainly swung more than they were expecting it to. A bit of discussion here as to how they can remove this blue stone from of Jennifer Martin.
Yeah, it looks like they're discussing sort of plan B options there in case.
Yeah, I
does
think
swing.
they're probably going to try and come down here at a back ring to hack weight, try and tap that blue out. If it does swing like Jennifer's appeared to, maybe catch their own red stone and split them, but try and leave 2 reds in the house and the blue open at the back of the 4-foot. But that would very much be a plan B, I think, David. I think the main objective here is to try and get rid of that blue and hang about yourself.
Yeah, they'll be fairly disappointed if they don't come out of this end with a 2, I would suspect.
Yeah, I think a lot will depend on how this shot pans out. But I think if this shot's made and they manage to get rid of the blue and roll to the wing, then yeah, certainly they would be disappointed if it didn't come out with a 2, I think. And I think it's certainly not any more than back ring weight, and if anything, maybe just.
Yeah, I think we're on plan B already.
I think, yeah, no, this is swinging. In fact, it's probably swinging too much for plan B as well. Possibly down weight there.
Maybe just a wee fraction, yeah.
Decision time for Jennifer Martin and her team. If they throw a good guard here, and the pressure's very much on Kerry to try and make a good draw to the 4-foot for her 1.
I think it's one of them shots, so it's just gave the Martin rink a bit of a problem in terms of there must be a temptation just to get rid of one of the reds. It's how aggressive do you go now?
Yeah, I don't think they can. I don't know how much they can see of the back red. A bit risky trying to take the certainly the front red off, and even taking the back red off unless they hang about with themselves with their shooter. I mean, Kerry's experienced enough, and certainly a good enough player just to run the red back in the top of the 8-foot back onto the shot and take up 2. So I think this is the right shot. Well, just a short guard here.
Yeah, like say force the draw to the button for the 1.
Yeah. Is there coach interactions, David? With there being
Yes, there is. Yep, there is
So
timeouts.
each team's allowed one.
One per game, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, no, that'll be right. Yeah.
One per game, and the coach. Well, obviously, as we were explaining to people yesterday, the length of time it takes a coach to get down from Dumfries is reasonably substantial. So it's quite a good time out of the game.
Yeah. And I guess, not wanting to be too controversial, some coaches will take longer than others to get downstairs.
Absolutely. Take a wee left turn out the door rather than turn right. Yeah. It's all part of the game, isn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a nice shot there by Jennifer. It's certainly done the job. So they're looking at, well, they do have a half stone double of an outside one here to pick up 3. At the scores 3-2 in favour of Jennifer Martin. This is a bold call. A game changer if you make it to go 2 up. But I think the sensible shot here is the draw for 1. Having said that, Kerry does make her fair share of these big shots.
Yeah, I mean, risk and reward. That's.
She's obviously not confident of making the draw to the 4 foot, and if that's the case, then certainly this is.
It's maybe a confidence in drawing to the 4 foot, but also confidence in how well their team are playing. They've started reasonably well. They've been making the chances.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yep.
The draw to the button's by no means guaranteed, because they're maybe just a wee bit worried about the swing on that handle as well.
Yeah, I think this is. I mean, as I say, I think this is a bold call, but certainly a game changer if they make it. Just while we're waiting and we're playing, a quick update on the other sheets. The Gina Aitken team managed to take 2 in the 4th end, and they're now 3-2 up. And in the Gail Monroe Hannah Fleming game on sheet E, Hannah Fleming stole another one to go 4-0 up. They're certainly shouting, and I think it's just swinging too much, David. Yeah.
I'm a bit surprised it played. It didn't look an awful lot of ice. It has been swinging out to the wings all weekend, so, but up in weight as well. So
it would be interesting to see what Keith McLennan thought of that shot there. I know he's the team coach for Kerry Bar in our rink. And I was to see it when a steal 1 for Jennifer Martin, so she's now 4-2 up. Interestingly, the game that we are concentrating on this morning, Kerry Bar Jennifer Martin game, they are nearly a full end behind the other 2 games now. So, we'll maybe have a quick look at the time clocks at half time and give you an update as to how both teams are faring on that score. But certainly they're nearly a full end behind the other two games on ice at the moment.
How much of a worry is that likely to be for them on the ice, or is it just one person that's designated to look after the time clocks? Or
yeah, normally they give that responsibility to one member of the team to keep an eye on the time. You're looking at sort of 7.5 minutes an end. I know we like to try and play the first half quite quickly so that we've got a bit of time in hand for the second half of the game. Normally towards the end of the game, if it's a close game, there's a lot of bigger decisions to make and a lot of stones in place, so it's always nice to have a couple of minutes in the bag. But
yeah, you don't want to have to rush the big shots towards the end or the big decisions.
No, that's right. And we've seen that yesterday in the final of the European Championships, didn't we? With Eve Muirhead and her team. I think they had sort of 3.5 minutes to play the last end, and it was pretty evident that maybe 1 or 2 shots were rushed.
So the fifth end, we get a break after this end. How important do you think this end is, Scott? I mean, we were talking yesterday. John Graham made the point of, you score a goal in football just before half time and it's seen as a big advantage. Do you think it makes a difference to the psychology of the game? You want to go in level, or at least having played a good end?
I don't think it makes a huge difference, David. It's certainly if you're down in the game, it gives you a chance to regroup. For your coach to have a few quiet words in your ear, if you like. But no, I don't think it really makes a huge difference in the outcome of the game. First of all, in big games, certainly, sort of semi-finals and final stage, you're trying to get up by half time or have turned a hammer, certainly, and then regroup and see what we have to do in the second half of the game. But as I say, I don't think it makes a huge difference.
You're still playing the 10 ends, so
yeah, absolutely. This is a big end in the context of this game, I think, though, David. I think the Bar team have to at least try and score a 2, or if not, then try and blank the end. There's a few stones in play already, so
yeah, they certainly won't want to be 3 down
at half time.
No,
definitely not. And although the ice is certainly swinging a bit more than it has been here at Dumfries, it's still quite difficult to overturn a 3 shot deficit in 5 ends. That's a lovely shot in there again. I think the difference in these two teams, certainly in the first half of the game, has been the front end. I think Jennifer Martin's lead and second players have been playing as well, if not better than what Kerry's first front two have.
It does make a huge difference, doesn't it, if you can just keep the game being played the way you want to play it, as opposed to being dictated to by the opposition.
Yeah, I think every good team nowadays has got a good lead that sets the end up well, and it's such a hugely important role within the team.
Most important player in the team, Scott.
Absolutely.
Strong shoulders to carry that brush bag.
Well, I think it was certainly evident last weekend at Lockerbie when we had to bring in Dad to be a super sub on Monday on Sunday morning as Mr. Black went walkabout. And although we managed to have a fairly comfortable win in the quarter-finals on Sunday morning, we played Dave Edwards and his team in the semi-finals, and although we're very grateful for Dad to step in, I think that was we certainly were up against it from the word go, with their substitute, young Ross White from Dumfries, setting up the ends very well for them, and we were in the back foot straight away because of that. So.
And it didn't really get any better as it went up the rink, to be fair, either. You then had the lead playing second who can't hit, and yeah, it just all went wrong from there.
Yeah, we put a good. I thought we played quite well, really, David. But
it was an enjoyable weekend.
Absolutely. So we see here a few stones kicking about in this end again. I think Kerry possibly lying second and fourth. So a nice shot here. By Rhiann McLeod, and the end can turn, as we said, fairly quickly.
Yeah, it's a wee bit more spread out and open than the last time they had a few stones kicking about.
I think she's just upped her weight a wee bit in this one, David, and it runs straight in her. think that seems to be the way, doesn't it? Although there seems to be a reasonable swing at T weight. I think if you up the weight at all, it just seems to run that bit straighter. And those of them that put quite a lot of handle in the stone are a bit sensitive with their releases. And certainly, I don't think you get anything for being wide anyway.
No, and there's certainly some quite, as you say, well practiced positive handles.
Let's hope it's swinging more by the time I come and play in the men's qualifiers.
Particularly on the out turn, is that?
You're not supposed to tell everybody that now, David.
I think most folk know.
I think they do, yes.
I only feel like I can comment because mine is fully worse, so that's... just a wee tidy up job there. I'd have to say for the Martin rink it looks reasonable to try and force the one here, although the stones sitting back tee may yet come into play.
Yeah, I mean, and interesting that Kerry's having a look here and wondering what was lying third shot.
It may just be red from the way she was kind of pointing the brush there.
I think that's right. I think certainly blue are lying 1 and 2 at the moment, certainly from this angle. I'm not just quite sure what the call was here, David. Were they just trying to draw one into the top of the house here, or trying to move this one at the back of the house?
I think with the ice they must be trying to move it.
Yeah,
I think the draw is another foot of ice or so.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. They certainly aren't playing an awful lot of weight at this, though. A lot of shouting going on. I think they're having to hold it.
It's just coming in, but it's just overswinging. Or starting to overswing. It's not too bad though.
No, good shot. It just didn't quite move that. It was a neither or really, David, wasn't it?
Yeah, and in between.
Yeah, I think if they were trying to move the blue, they had to really try and move it certainly to the back of the 12 foot or even out of play to bring the top red into play.
Yeah.
There's quite a couple of stones at least that are going to have to move to get the top red into play.
Yeah, it's almost a write-off stone, that one now, isn't it?
I think so, and we see Jennifer, she's just going to try and pop this red through between the two blues at the back of the house and put the pressure straight back onto the Kerry bar rink. Yeah, and a well executed shot.
So presumably just the same again, just bump the blue back a wee touch.
Yeah, I think if they're, as we've said, if they're going to try and bring that top red into play, they need to try and move these back blues, but
Just running out of stones to do it with now.
yeah, and this one's certainly needing to swing a bit. I think they're okay. Yeah.
I suppose just that wee touch higher, and just make sure there's no backing to it though. That's the downside.
Yeah.
Take the scoreboard out of the way for a minute or two. We can actually see the back of the house properly. I'm certainly having a look at them two stones. It wouldn't be the first time the camera angles caught us out on this.
Yeah, I mean, I know it certainly doesn't look like it from here, but I'm just wondering whether the red at the top of the house is actually beating the blue at the back as well. So they're possibly lying 2 at the moment.
Yeah, which certainly affects the calls.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. This one's just running a bit high as well.
commentator's cursor saying it had no backing.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, I look a bit silly for saying write that red off.
No, absolutely. I think we can use the excuse of the camera angle, David.
Camera angle, last night's drinking, yep, the whole lot. Yep, it's all good.
Well, a nice stone from Kerry here, and certainly I think we'll see Jennifer Martin probably hit the open red on the right hand side as we look at it, and give Kerry an easy 2 to go into the half time break, 5 at 4 each. But let's wait and see after this stone what Jennifer Martin and her team decide. Yeah, I think they'll be disappointed with that, David.
Yeah, I think so.
And Jennifer, and again, the end has really turned, hasn't it? A good shot here by Jennifer, and a hit and roll, or even a nose hit, and Kerry could be facing 3 with her last one.
Yeah, it is amazing how quickly an end can turn round and then straight back again. As I say, it's always pretty depressing when you're on the end of it.
Well, the Gail Monroe fans out there amongst you, you'll be pleased to hear that she's managed to get on the scoreboard with a 1 in the 5th end.
Doesn't quite get the roll in, so I think it's probably just 2 against at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. I think she's well, yeah, no, she's going to play the draw for her 1.
Yeah, I don't think there's any chance of kind of a half stone
On the red, that's
barrier
well, I think they're looking at it now.
So
A
that
bit
had
of
to be an option.
margin for
Yeah.
for error with that shot, David. You know, I think anywhere inside of the nose, and there's every chance they'll be able to roll both reds in, the shooter and the one that's in play at the moment, to score 2.
Yeah, I think if you play to
I
roll
think-
your shooter and see what happens with the other one, I think that's...
Yeah, and I think even at barrier weight, even if the nose are red, they'll be pretty unlucky to give up one. I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
the red should squeeze in. So
And of course, doing that, you're also taking a blue out of play as well, which the draw doesn't give you the option of. But I'd say that is a fair target for the draw.
I think with the way she's holding the brush, I think they've decided just to play the draw for the 1. So this really is a bread and butter shot for Kerry, and we're one that should be expecting to make in 10 times out of 10 really. The sweepers are standing off it at the moment. I think it's possibly needing to swing a wee bit as well.
Going for plan B here.
No, I think they're no. Well
That's fine.
played. Well played.
Saying just standing off it for line of
Yeah.
touch.
Yeah. So at half time, we'll have the score at 4-3 to the Jennifer Martin rink. And the scores on the other sheets, Marshall is now 4-3 up without last stone against Gina Aitken, and Hannah Fleming is 4-1 up with last stone against Gail Monroe. back underway here in the sixth end.
They don't take long on these breaks now, do they, Scott? That nearly caught us out. Look round and there's a stone flying down the ice.
No, what do they get? Is it 3 minutes or 5 minutes, David? Do you know?
No idea. I've genuinely no idea.
Well, as promised, I checked what the time situation is for both teams. Jennifer Martin has 35 minutes left to play the last 5 ends, and Kerry Bar has 30 minutes left. So the Bar team will have to pick up the pace of it if they're to get through the full 10 ends with the time that they've got.
30 minutes a little bit tight.
Yeah, I think it is, David, and especially when they're one down and don't have last stone, there's going to be a lot of lighter weight shots played, sort of back rings and T weights. So, having said that, she comes straight out and is playing an up weight shot. But yet, no, I think we'll find that they'll be pushing on to try and recover some of the time that they've lost in the first half of the game.
I think for me this is where the time clocks fall down a little bit, because I don't think they've been particularly slow in making decisions. I think it's just been there's been a lot of draws from both teams, to be fair. I just feel sometimes a team that's kind of being aggressive can sometimes get a wee bit penalised on the shot clocks, and particularly as a neutral watching the game.
Yeah,
I think we should be encouraging the attacking play whenever possible. So
no, absolutely. I've just had a nice message here from Colin Howden, saying that he's liking the commentary. So thanks for that, Colin. I'm sure we'll be able to get you roped in when you are down here at the Scottish Championships in January.
Absolutely. We're toying with the idea of player microphones as well. We have got them available. They're just a bit of a hassle to set up, in all honesty.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting to get an insight as to what the teams are saying down on the ice. And
we've just, unfortunately, everything is absolutely live at the moment. So player microphones are definitely a winner as long as there's no dodgy language floating about.
I would probably advise, David, that you would have to select the teams that you would like to have and select the games wisely. Yeah, there's
a couple of suggestions already going on the side. We'll just leave that one be. I think.
I think so.
I'm not even going there.
No.
I think that's Scott's way of saying he doesn't want to play a microphone though. And there is not a chance I'm putting one on Graham Black.
No.
It's funny I mentioned that. I looked round and Graham's name's appeared on the screen as well. That's
I'm not sure whether it's at Dumfries or Braehead, David, where we play David Edwards and his team at the qualifying for the men's championships. But I think if it was at Dumfries, that could make for some interesting viewing, certainly.
I think that might be one test of my technical ability too far, I suspect.
Yeah, possibly, David. Yeah.
hopefully it's a good thing that these games are actually covered and people can watch what's going on in the Scottish. There must be a fair few colours in Scotland don't realise there's actually a game before the final, before it's shown on BBC.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a great facility that we have here at Dumfries, and hopefully as the seasons go past and more people will start to view online.
Yeah, it is a good system, and I think it's testament largely to the work Graham Sloan's done, and all the equipment's been paid for by curlers here. Through various fundraising events, the world record obviously being one of the key ones of them. We've got a fairly proactive group. We apply for various funding streams that other groups in the area can apply for, so it's quite a competitive process, but it's good to have some keen curlers with a kind of forward look to things to try and improve things constantly. So just robs the guard there.
Yeah, another mistake from the bar team, and I think they're maybe just struggling with ice conditions out there, David. I think they're getting caught out with how much swing there actually is.
Yeah. It has to be a wee bit of time pressure as well. If they have noticed they're bound to have noticed the time clocks, and if they're just concentrating on getting the shots played, that maybe concentration drifts just that 1 or 2%.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Do we know what team has the bye in the last session tonight, David?
Nope, but I can find out for you.
Yeah.
Certainly Lorna Weaver's rink is off the ice this session, I think.
Yeah, no.
Always a bit risky saying these things when you can't see out the window.
Yeah, no, Lorna and her team have had a lie-in this morning.
I was about to say it came at a nice time for them. I don't know what your thoughts are on that. They obviously lost a tight game with Hannah Fleming last night.
Yeah, I think that's been the surprise up until now. Certainly looking at the standings this morning, that Lorna Weavers and her rink, who was one of the 3 or 4 that I suggested would be the favourites to win the championship, are on 1 win and 2 losses. But I'm sure a team like that will come back and they'll be there or thereabouts. Certainly come February at Perth.
Would you have preferred to be back on the ice this morning straight away, or would you think we've got a good time off now, we can get a good night's sleep, just relax a little bit last night?
Yeah, I think the break's probably done them the world of good. I think if I'm right, they play Marshall this afternoon. So that'll be would be a game that they would be looking to, and a game that they would be expecting to win. So I think if they can leave this weekend on 2 wins and 2 losses, they'll be fairly happy with that.
It's Gina Aitken's rink that has the bye this afternoon. So Kerry Barr goes on to play Gail Monroe after this one. As you say, Lorna Weavers against Marshall, and then Hannah Fleming will play Jennifer Martin.
Do we know, David, what draw we'll be covering this afternoon?
We haven't actually picked one yet, so
right, yeah.
Any suggestions more than welcome. The obvious one for us to cover is probably Kerry Barr's team again against Gail Monroe.
Yeah.
Move us back onto Seaboard, makes the cameras a little bit easier. If anybody has any strong preferences, let us know. We're certainly getting good feedback today as well. So, don't know if you want to comment on much of it, Scott, but feel free.
Give me 1 or 2 minutes, maybe, David, to think of a response, and I'll to Granite City Dave. I'm sure we can. We've got a fair idea who that is, so I'll come back to you in due course. Bit of pressure on Jennifer Martin here.
The sweeper's on it.
Facing 3, and yep, they're sweeping hard. It looks like it's swinging.
It's swinging.
No, I think
it's
they've
okay.
well
Might roll up,
swept. Yeah. No,
It
a
has done.
steal a 1 to Kerry Barr and her team. That brings us back to all square. Granite City Dave seems to have plenty of time in his hands this morning, with the comments that he's putting on the live stream here. So I think we should get him involved in commentating. David, I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
I think it'd be quite good at the commentating.
Yeah,
I would have thought.
I think we'll need to try and get him involved.
Just a change of ends there, just a wee plug for World Championships that are happening in Dumfries. April next year, we have both World Seniors competitions, men's and ladies. We also have the mixed doubles. So you can get your tickets now. It's just the season tickets that are on sale at the moment. There will be individual draw tickets go on sale, both for kind of half days, full days, single games. But we don't know the draw yet, so it's a bit difficult to sell them at the moment. So you can get your full season tickets. You can just go to the website there, and there's actually a link that will take you to a ticketing website that I've forgotten, but you can book them through there, no problem at all.
Again, Granite City Dave being a few years older than you and I here, David, there's every chance he'll be playing in the World Seniors representing Scotland down here at Dumfries.
It'd be nice to see a local guy in there, yeah. It's in 10-7. We've got another good centre line guard up, one in behind it. You'd be happy with that setup, Scott, would you?
I think so, yeah. With this, a nice shot down here from Mary Beard. good to see. There's quite a few people in watching here this morning as well, David. There's
Yeah, there is substantially
reasonable
more than there
crowd.
was at 9 o'clock this morning anyway.
yeah.
No, it is good. It's been reasonably well supported all weekend, to be fair. Certainly yesterday afternoon there was a good crowd in. It's a reasonably sized curling area down here, as you well know, Scott, and it's nice to have a Scottish Championships on our doorstep rather than the kind of 2.5 hour drive up the road.
No, absolutely.
We normally have, so
yeah.
it's a good chance for folk in the region.
Yeah.
A wee update on the time clock situation.
Yeah, so Mr. Sloan has just informed us that Kerry Bar has now 24 minutes left to play the last 4 ends of the game, and Jennifer Martin has 27 minutes left. So really, both teams quite tight on time.
And to be fair, Scott, you called that about end 3-4 that they were heading towards an end behind the rest of the games. So
is that a compliment, Dave?
absolutely. So do you think we'll see maybe the next end being quite a quick end, both teams realising they're a wee bit short on time? And
Yeah, possibly, but I think as long as Jennifer Martin can manage to keep herself ahead of Kerry Barr's team in terms of time, then they won't be.
it's kind of
They
their
won't be
problem,
overly.
yeah.
They won't be overly worried. And things are certainly looking much better for Jennifer in this end. Yeah, and just trying to sit this stone just where Jennifer's got her brush at the moment, just to bite top 12 foot. Put the pressure straight back onto Kerry Barr's team. I'm not sure how much they can see of this stone from the hack, David. I know from the camera angle it looks like they should be able to see it all, but
Yeah.
looking through the window, that maybe isn't necessarily the case. So they're just trying to play a quieter weight.
I'm not sure that angle helps any. That's the hand out to side, which indicates by the guard quite comfortably. I think going by that, they could probably have got the fully inside.
Yeah, I think so. That was a nice shot. Marshall managed to steal another shot against Gina Aitken, so she's now 5-3 up after 6 ends, and looking pretty good in this end as well. I'm not just sure what happened in sheet E, but by the rate that Gail's thrown our sliding mechanism up the sheet next to us here, I think possibly another steal on 1 or 2 for Hannah Fleming.
Maybe not good news there for Monroe Rink. Yeah, it certainly looks like Hannah Fleming's team will be throwing first stone there. So
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that game's almost over now, David.
yeah, we played. We certainly played Hannah last weekend, and pretty good at keeping in control of a game and keeping things simple from there. And you certainly wouldn't expect her to throw that game away.
No, she's now 6-1 up with 3 ends to play. It's a tricky shot that's been asked for here. Rachel Sims. She's possibly catching. Yeah. Not a disaster, though. It's opened up the blue shot in the house and double guarded now the red in the house.
What do you think the best shot for Jennifer Martin is here then? Just
well,
what she's calling.
She's level at the moment. The scores are drawn at 4 each. She doesn't. She has last stone. Sorry. So, I think if she can put one right in the corner, freeze or blue, and try and put the angle onto the other red as well, it's a good shot.
Just sit right in that pocket.
I think so. Yeah. Looks like it's swinging in here quite nicely. The sweepers are just looking after it.
Just exactly where you suggested, Scott.
Yeah, no, a good shot. Now it's very difficult for Kerry to try and remove either one of the two blues. I think at this stage in the end she'll be looking to just try and force Jennifer to her one. And I think with
not quite sure who's lying and how many.
Second shot there. I think it's possibly just one to blue. If that was the case, though, we might even see Kerry Barr trying through a guard and force Jennifer to her one.
We have gone very quiet, people. We just realised we put the microphone faders down, so apologies for that.
Apologies.
There's a lot of good chat there as well.
There was. Shall we go back to the start now?
We better go back to time clocks, Scott.
Yeah.
That was a wee while ago.
Well, at the start of this end, certainly. Kerry Bar and her rink had 11 minutes left to play. Left to play the last two ends, and Jennifer Martin and her team had 12 minutes left to play the last two ends. So, as we were saying, Kerry and her rink are probably happier with the situation now, and maybe even more happier than what Jennifer and her team are. Obviously, Jennifer's now chasing the game, two shots down. As we can see, Kerry's attempting and with a bit of success, trying to remove some of the short stones. So. I think they'll be keeping moving. Looks like there's a bit more urgency now from the guys as well. So the game on sheet E has finished between Hannah Fleming and Gail Monroe. A big score of 5 in the ninth end from Hannah. So the final score 11-2 to Hannah Fleming. So that's Gail Monroe suffers her fourth defeat, I think, or third defeat. I think she's possibly had her bye, so that'll be her third defeat. Third defeat of the weekend.
Yeah, I was just saying when we had the microphone switched off there, that end was building up, and Gail was she didn't have last stone, so she's obviously having to gamble quite a lot there. So
yeah, very much so. So apologies once again for a technical error on our behalf.
That's not bad. That's taken 9 ends for a technical error this time. That's much better than yesterday.
And the Bar team are now, after a miss earlier on in the end from Rianne, they're now clearing the front off quite nicely. So yeah, what we were saying earlier on, we certainly try and have one of our members of our team that concentrate on keeping an eye on the time, and keep us informed after every end or every second end as to how we're doing. But we are one of the slower teams out there. Graham Black does take his time and making decisions sometimes.
He's got a lot to think about, the boy.
Well, sometimes we do, yes. A nice shot there by the Martin rink, which puts Kerry under a bit of pressure. I think they're just trying to come round here a quiet hack weight. I don't think it would be a disaster if they did tick the guard off here.
I'd be quite happy with that, I would think.
I think so. I think you're better certainly erring on the tight side than the wide side. However, they're this has jumped on them, I think, David. I think that's possibly, and that is not good. Yeah, left the corner guard in play.
Line 3 against in the house in a second. Would you be moving that red now, or would you be?
I think it might be tempting to try and throw another one round. Yeah, possibly where she's tapping the brush, or even to try and get a wee biter.
I wouldn't mind the biter on that one.
I think if they can try and sit one just on the 4 foot line, the top of the 12 foot, and show 2 halves if you like.
Yeah.
To really put the pressure on Kerry's team. Again, this could all be a couple of errors there from Kerry and our team, and it could all be down to the time situation.
This one looks a wee touch wide. It's just coming off at the
bit
end.
Heavy as well for the type of shot, but yeah, it's hanging in the ring, so it's good enough. Good enough.
Wee chance again, a couple out.
I think so.
More?
Yeah, and as I said earlier on, Kerry certainly likes to play the high hard running is one of our specialities. So. She's a fantastic player, Kerry Bar. Actually, she really is. She's it's a good team, and I do think that they'll.
They were certainly being tipped by a couple of people yesterday as being in the final.
Yeah, no, I would certainly go with that. I do think that between Hannah, Kerry, and Lorna Beavers are probably the 3 teams to look out for. she's not playing this one quite as heavy as I thought she might have done.
It's pretty good.
It's swinging though. She might get the other one instead. Yeah, great shot. Great shot.
Yeah, well played and well called as well.
Yeah, that really is. Again, possibly just a wee bit of inexperience from the Martin rink to give Kerry that opportunity.
Yeah, like you say, put one in the front rings.
Yeah.
It just puts a wee bit more pressure on, and
I think she's got to try and draw one. I mean, again, I think at this stage in the game, 2 down, playing the 9th end, she really has to be trying to force a 2, and if not a 3, I think. Yeah, come round the corner guard, top of the 8 foot, to lie 2 behind the guard, and it puts more pressure on Kerry. A good shot there by Jennifer, but as I say, I would like to have seen her try and draw one round the corner guard, top of the house, to put some real pressure on Kerry Barr.
just a wee bit defensive.
Yeah, and especially at this stage in the game, she's been really in control of the game, right from the first end when she stole one. Silly loss of 3. I think, just from the 7th end, 8th end, and this end, just as I said earlier on, maybe showing a bit of inexperience.
Yeah.
Big opportunity for Jennifer Martin and her rink though. They're
Well, they certainly started the weekend well. I mean,
absolutely,
they're on fire for the
yeah.
first 3 games.
And is it the top 3 or top 4 that go to a page system when we get to Perth? Do we know?
We'll need to ask Sheila Swan that at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be on maybe even online, David.
Somebody might just
on the
mention
website.
that. Mini page playoff.
Yeah, so that
So
would
top
indicate
three,
to me
top
that the
three
top
progress.
3. So yeah, so Jennifer Martin on 3 wins and no losses, possibly looking to go to 3 and 1 now.
Yeah, straight away we get the answer on the chat as well. We probably should have done a bit more research on this before we started, but
possibly.
Too busy getting the electronics plugged in, I'm afraid.
And again, a pretty they're looking like they're working this one hard, but it's not.
I think it's okay though. It's maybe not.
I think one of the sweepers looked like they'd given up on that, and I think had they kept on it.
I think I'd be a wee bit disappointed in the third sweeper there.
Yeah, as we were saying earlier on, you've got to you play to your sweepers, but I think she was relying on her sweepers a bit too much that time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Possibly ice conditions as well, maybe going a bit flat, but
yeah, just maybe getting a wee touch caught out with that.
Yeah, but no, I mean that's just the one. So she's now 1 down without last stone, playing the last end. So
yeah, so
it's a tough school at this level, and I think she's
yeah, there'll be a wee bit of debriefing to be done after the game, I suspect.
Yeah, I'm not just sure do we know who the coach is for the Martin rink?
I don't, Scott. No, it's.
I know there's a couple of familiar faces up here today, but
I believe Keith McLennan's the bar coach.
Yeah,
right?
I think coaching Kerry Barr and her rink. So, and Debbie Knox, Hannah Fleming's coach, and has been for a number of years, and she's certainly here today.
Well, Keith Prentice has been around. I'm not sure he was coaching.
That could certainly be one of them. Yeah.
David Aitken, been Gina Aitken's coach.
Yeah. So we're narrowing it down
we're
slowly.
running out of possibilities.
Yeah.
So.
Is there anybody? I don't know if there's anybody listening that can maybe inform us as to who the coaches are, but and just while we're watching the early parts of this game,
Keith Prentice is coaching Lorna. That's where.
Right.
That's
Okay.
where he's coaching.
Okay. So we better hope that we're not too harsh on Lorna and our team later on, and David, if Big Keith's their coach.
Yeah, suddenly this little plastic board that goes round us doesn't look much of a
No,
challenge, does
no.
it?
An attempt at a tick shot here by getting back to the game. Attempted tick shot by Barbara. And not far away, it was just needing to swing maybe another inch or so, and it certainly would have been good enough.
Been told Claire Mill has been doing the coaching of the Martin rink.
Right, yeah, no, that would, yeah.
Skippy on the
Yeah,
chat.
thanks for
facility.
that, Skippy. And Granite City, Dave. I hope that's...
Don't go there, Scott, don't go there. If you're worried about saying
I
it,
hope
don't say
that's,
it.
yeah, Keith Prentice you're referring to, and
I'll repeat, don't say it.
Not Jennifer Martin's coach.
So a couple of guards up here now. Just a quick reminder, because I think we probably had the microphones down while I was doing the plug for it. But if you've enjoyed the coverage, we've got the coverage on the live stream service. It obviously has some nasty banking adverts that creep in there. If you have enjoyed it, if you can go to the YouTube account, which is youtube.com/Dumfries Curling, click the subscribe button. That'll help us out a lot and hopefully give us sort of free, advert-free coverage. We need 100 subscribers before we can do that, though. So if you could do that, that would be grand.
You'll need to show me how to do that, David, and I can do it in between games.
Excellent. We should maybe put an online demonstration on it.
Aye, absolutely, absolutely. Just a quick update on the other games that's still happening at the moment. A Gina Ake and Marshall game. Marshall stole another one in the 9th end. She's now 8-4 down. And surprising, really, that Gina didn't shake hands. You know, very unlikely that they'll take 4 in one end, and especially the last end of a game. I think Marshall and her team will be a strong enough rink that they can peel the guards fairly comfortably.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be for practice or anything. They're staying on. It's maybe just automatic reactions at
Yeah,
times.
I think so. I think possibly a younger team maybe thought they would there's maybe a chance of getting a 4. As you see, Rianne trying to peel some guards here, and they were certainly sitting nicely to get rid of 2 of them, but unfortunately she only manages the 1. So Jennifer's set the end up quite well here. She's there's 2 centre guards up. So if she gets a good one round now, right onto the top of the button.
Yeah, it's the game's not finished yet, certainly.
No, I'll maybe just have a quick run along and see how we're doing for time.
Yeah, not a bad idea. Stone coming up as another guard there. We'll see how many blues start flying around now. Two blues disappearing, shooter going off to the side. That looks a whole lot better for the bar rink now.
Yeah, nice shot, and an update on the time situation. Both teams have circa 4 minutes left to play, so I think they're both quite comfortable on time now.
Define comfortable. You should have 30 seconds left, is what you're saying. Is that the?
Well, yeah, I think with the 73 minutes, you're really looking at getting down to having sort of a minute or 2 left at the end of the game, if that. And for them being so tight at half time, I think they're.
I think, to be fair, they've both got their timeouts left as well. I can't think
yeah,
the coaches
they have.
been down,
Yeah,
so.
no, that's right. So they've both got their coach interactions that they can use. So. It was a nice draw in there. Just a couple of feet of running and to be in the 4 foot, and would put a bit of pressure on Kerry and her team.
It's another guard going.
And remind me, David, Kerry's had her bye.
Yeah, first game
This
on
weekend,
Friday.
right, okay.
They missed out, so they have another game this afternoon, and that is against Gael Monroe.
Yeah.
And just going back to how the competition stands, because Jennifer Martin, if she doesn't win this game, comes up against Hannah Fleming in the next game. So that'll be a tough game again.
Yeah,
so from
again, it could be a top of the table clash. So
yeah, it could well be. Yeah.
With Hannah playing, and Hannah looks like she's coming onto a game now.
Spoiled for choice this afternoon.
We are. Lovely shot there by Rachel Sims to clear the guard and the one in the house. Although she has left her shooter, so
Just blocks that 4 foot draw line a wee touch.
another chance for Jennifer with her first one, certainly to get a good one in here. She's only looking for one here to try and force an extra end. So, although I think Kerry, if Jennifer does manage to get a good one in here, I think we would see Kerry peel the guard off. Thinking that Jennifer would try and guard again, leaving Kerry the open draw to the 4 foot to win the game. I think she's maybe. Is she trying to?
She called the guard.
I think she has. I think she's just throwing the guard herself, which isn't a bad call. It puts a bit of pressure. I don't think that was the call though. I think she was trying to draw around. So she seems to have just lost her weight a wee bit.
The sweepers were never on that. I think that's.
No, but yeah.
I think the only downside to that is if she does bring that one into the rings, and Kerry does rip the guard off, you can actually lie for the game,
Lie
not
for the
just
game.
for
No, absolutely.
Neil.
Yeah, no, I think that was a mistake there, David. I do think she was trying to draw and lie one, certainly. Kerry just looking for a single peel here. She might have tried to go the other way and take the two of them out. It would have been a bit risky. Having said that, maybe a chance of running one of the Martin guard into the house, so possibly the right call there. And leaving Jennifer the same shot again.
Yep.
We haven't seen Jennifer play an awful lot of draws in this game, and obviously she's been short the last couple of times, so that's maybe why she tried to play the hit in the 7th end rather than the draw. Not comfortable with her draw weight. But the sweepers all use stopwatches, so they know exactly what split time to give them. So
yeah, they're well practiced at throwing stones
Yeah.
to set times.
Yeah.
So.
looking out the window here, this certainly looks heavy enough.
I think it looks pretty good.
I think it's
it's needing to pull up a wee touch.
Yeah, I think Rachel's getting ready to sweep here. So Kerry's going to have a full draw to the 8 foot to win the match.
Comes a stone over the hog line now. Looks pretty good. Sweepers look in control.
Gets heavy enough, David. They're certainly going to. She's going to get a wee sweep on this. I think she's heavy.
I think it's okay.
Oh no, you're right.
It's
You're
just
quite
okay.
right. It's just hung on there. So one
Right.
red,
Yeah.
and we get the handshake.
Handshakes are out.
So in this session, we've had Marshall beat Gina Aitken, Kerry Barr finishing the game off with a nice draw to the 8th for the win. So Kerry Bar beats Jennifer Martin, and Hannah Fleming with a comfortable win over Gail Monroe.
So that finishes off this game. We're back at 2 o'clock today. We're going to be covering the Beavers Marshall game. It's probably quite an important game for both teams. We do have the ability to move between games, so we'll try and keep you updated on all 3 games as they go on. So thanks for watching just now, and we'll see you again at 2 o'clock.
Thank you.